crews are gonna be standing on. So I mean, I have no idea what I'm gonna do. It's gonna be a grand experience, I think. I have no idea if I can.
All right, we are live. Yep, we're live and it is 8:15. So
Where's our public? I feel sad.
All right, we have 8:15. We'll call the meeting to order. Roll call. Nick has been asked to be excused. We'll see if Tim shows up during the meeting. I'll need approval and repair on this month's agenda.
Promotion.
I'll second the motion.
So by Kim, second by Derek, all in favor, signify by saying aye.
Aye.
Opposed? Motion carries. Move on to approval and repair of last month's minutes. We get a chance to take a look at them. We'll need a motion.
In the motion.
Motion by Kim, second by Nick, all in favor, signify by saying aye. Opposed? Carries. Public comment. We don't have anybody here from the public today. So we'll move on to department report.
So for department reports, farmland preservation, we've been continuing to make appointments. Travis just got the approval to start driving again. So walkovers will start as soon as our snowstorm leaves. So he was all excited and he was gonna get ready to go and yeah.
Might need boots.
We'll see what happens.
Maybe what?
Field, right? Sanitation report's been pretty busy, because we did have the nicer weather. So 6 soil inspections, we had 2 septic inspections, 3 house numbers, and then 8 septic permits. And we're still working with Dave. There was 3 citations, they paid the citations, so then we need to figure out, okay, they paid the citations, but they still need to put their system in, so we're gonna be meeting with him hopefully later on this week.
Also, the citation was you have to pay, but there wasn't like a wording in there like.
I don't know what the exact, what they sent from the courts, so I'm gonna touch base with him on that. Shoreline zoning, we have 2 hearings coming up, so, Andrew takes care of those. We have 1 this week and 1 next week that goes through the zoning, or the shoreline, the shoreline board, I can't think of what it's called now. Well testing update. So the next well testing update is for May 13th. I'm hoping to open registration next week. We've been seeking donations locally. Aaron's been really running that donation with all the letters. He sent all the letters and the emails. We have 3 donations so far that came in for $1,200. We're hoping to provide the well kits at $10, but this first round, we may offer them at $20, which is still a $50 savings to landowners. So I'm hoping we'll get some more in. We're also been working on the 2024 DADCAP annual work plan has been submitted. I'm almost done with the staffing grant for 2025. We're submitting a trim grant for a manure storage barnyard. There was 3 that we were going to submit. Now it's down to 1. One of the guys had built a barn and expanded, so that then they're out. They're not eligible for trim, which is DNR. He's going to go through EQIP, and then another one wants to try to just do some operation and maintenance stuff, move things around, do some grazing. And then some of the projects on his farm will be smaller where we can get them under swarm, where it won't be a year wait to see if they're awarded for the grant. I've been mapping the 2024 nutrient management plan, so we get about 270 in. So we've been working on that. Terry's been taking a lot of phone calls from tax people, clients, participants for farmland preservation regarding their certificate of compliance. So everyone's issued a number, and it's always been a 7-digit number. That 7-digit number does not change year to year unless you sell or buy or change land. This year, the Wisconsin Department of Revenue decided to take off the first 2 numbers. That's all our numbers start with 31. 31 is Kewaunee County. They decided just to put the last 5 numbers in this year.
No.
So it is everyone up thinking they needed a new number and tax form. And so anyone who's listening, you just need to put your last 5 digits into your taxes and it's the same number. So, a lot of calls on that. So I don't know why they did that. It worked perfect in the past.
And did they explain it when they did it?
No, because we didn't know until we had to make the call and we're like, and they said, oh no, you just put the last 5 digits in. That's so. Yeah, guess if you don't have nothing to change in the form, that's kind of something. I don't know.
But at least if you do it, if you could put like a alert out there for everybody.
Yeah, so we've been a lot of stuff with that. And now that the farmland preservation tax credit's gone to $10 per acre, it was $7.50. We're actually getting more participants that want to get into the program, so making sure they have a nutrient management plan, they'll have to have their farm walk, so that's been a great incentive to get some of these other people into the program. Continuing to work with farms to write their own nutrient management plans. We'll have a new high this year. We are hoping to hit 40 plans, which is great. They're not all done yet. So once Travis is working one-on-one with a lot of people right now, I'll get the total number of acres. And once all the plans are finished. So we're actually partnering with Peninsula Pride, because if we partner with them, then we're eligible for more grant funding through nutrient management, farmer education grant, which then we can serve more people, which is really great.
When these nutrient management plans are written by these people, are they enforced by your office that they're followed? I've had that question that let's say an acre says we can put down 12,000 gallons of manure. If they go outside that nutrient management plan and decide to put down 17 because it's closer to the farm, is there enforcement on that, or how does that work? Is it just kind of a guide?
Yeah, it's the same as your nutrient management plan and your recommendations. It's the same plan. Now, if someone wants to go out and spread more than we can't go out and monitor every farm spreading. Now, if it runs off, then that's where we can go into there with the enforcement. So, we teach them that we're teaching more of how to use your manure as a nutrient and not a waste. So a lot of them have saved money in buying fertilizer and not having to buy so much, which is really good. Because a lot of these guys, maybe have 20, 30, 40, 50 acres. They're very small. So we've been trying to save them money, but yeah, I mean, any farmer can take their nutrient management plan and whip it out the window, or they can follow it.
Yeah, right, there's really no difference if like the co-op was writing just nutrient management plan, or you were.
Yep.
You can follow it or not, right, the same.
It's the same exact standard, same exact plan. We're using SNAP Plus. It's just an incentive to keep these farmers in doing nutrient management when they really can't afford an agronomist, or they're losing money because they're paying so much in fertilizer, when they just need to understand more of, okay, let's use this as a nutrient, get it tested, these are your nutrients, and then Travis kind of walks them through that. So it's been very, very good. But yeah, the only way we really know if someone's over applying on fields that they shouldn't be is ponding and pooling or running off. So if there's ponding and pooling, then we can go out too. We did receive a trim grant this year for La Captain, so we're going to be working on finalizing that cost share agreement, and then Paul will be out there and doing survey design and with that manure storage built for him. So then he will no longer have to stack in the back 40 where we give them stacking locations. So been busy, and that's kind of what we've been doing in the last month. Questions?
All right, if we don't have any questions for Mina, we'll move on to cooperating agencies. We don't have anybody here. They from any of the other agencies that we work with. Maybe we'll do the reading up a week. They have not got the memo. We'll move on to other matters to discuss. The action item for the public health and groundwater protection ordinance ending the date of April 15th for manure spreading. I think kind of a mute conversation at this point with 12 inches of snow coming and a bunch of rain next week. By the time the soil dries out, we're going to be at the date of April 15th. I don't know I know we were dry in March and it was questioned if we could lift it. At that time, the board felt it was a little bit too early. That's why we moved this meeting up. I did reach out from Barry Buboltz from NRCS. He did share that Kewaunee County has, that he knows of, or that we know of on this site, wisconsinnet.wisconsin.edu. I'll share that with Davina. She can send it out to all of us, but there are weather stations at one in Stangleville and then one at Hillside. And those weather stations measure the soil moisture at 2 inches, 4, 8, 20, and 40 inches. Barry and I we didn't quite know how to read them, so we're gonna reach out to some other people at UW Extension. But I feel this is a tool maybe we can use if this arises again in the next couple of years, that we can go to these weather stations and actually see what the soil moisture is to help in aiding make a decision moving forward. So it's just another tool we can put in the toolbox for the future.
One question, so for this, that applies to people who have the bedrock.
So it's less than 20 feet to bedrock. Yep.
So is it a lot of your big farms, or is it a lot of your, like your capos, or is there quite a bit of your smaller farms?
It's both.
It's both.
Mhm.
So now, like for a capo, we have to have so much storage, but for a smaller farm, do they, because it's being pushed out to the 17th, are some of these where they're tight with storage?
No, when we passed this in 2018,
Everybody.
2019, 2019, we did a lot of cost sharing to get plans. So I mean, we haven't had any violations
Okay.
since 2019. The farms have their adequate storage.
Okay.
A lot of the farms who were reaching out just wanted to get going and start. But with well over whatever inches of snow that we're getting today, plus the rain, well, we get the snow today, and then later on, by the end of, or beginning of next week, it's gonna be in the 60s, so then we're gonna have, and then it's supposed to rain, so. Through the April 15th, I think we should definitely not lift it right now.
Yeah, I believe that this is something we can, on a yearly basis. It's different when there's 6 feet of snow there in March. We don't even need to talk about it, but this year.
Somebody did ask if it could be a yearly thing to talk about, where it just like this is it, it didn't happen, and it's gonna stay at the 17th. They asked if it's something that if the weather does change, if it could be brought up again.
Yep, and that's actually, that's actually listed right in the ordinance that the committee can review the date a month or 2 months prior, however we would like to do it. So we can definitely keep that where we kind of review it in March, and then if we need to make a decision in early April, like we did this year, because it was super nice, and now we're getting slammed, but yeah, absolutely. And they can start spreading on April 16th, so it's only through the 15th. The 16th, they can start spreading.
Any other discussion on that? If not, we'll look for a motion. I suppose we have it as an action item.
Yeah,
so we
I would
still need to vote on it, not change ordinance. I
To
guess.
not change the date.
To not change the date. 15, yeah, so I'll need a motion.
I'll make
Tim made a motion and second by Derek to not change the date earlier than April 15th on the public health and groundwater protection ordinance. All in favor signify by saying aye.
Aye.
Opposed, same sign, motion carried. We'll move on to scheduling of future meetings.
So we have May 14th at 8:15, so we didn't want to go past that just because it is an election year. So once the county board gets decided, and then whoever's the county board chair decides committees, then we can discuss that.
So what's the date?
It's May 14th at 8:15,
And it's still Tuesday?
second Tuesday of the month, yep. So yeah, I'll always try to stick with the second Tuesday of the month at 8:15, so depending on if we have any changes.
Yeah, I think that's what's good for. Yeah, we'll talk to the new board. The changes coming in.
Mhm.
Chairman's wrap up. I don't have anything today other than. Look back, I guess. Yeah. So for that, I'll look for an adjournment.
I'll make a motion to
Second.
Motion by Kim, second by Derek. All in favor of the motion, signify by saying aye. Opposed? Motion carries. Adjourn at 8:30.